Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. I have another What Sold This Week video for you. If you're new here, hi, my name is Laura. I sell women's vintage clothing online on sites like Etsy, eBay, Depop, Poshmark, and whatnot, which is a live auction platform. And I come to YouTube every week and I tell you what I sold, and I show you haul videos, and I do a rambly reseller related video usually each Monday. And today I tell you what I sold. I start off with what I sold in my Whatnot show because I just ended that and I have to do the shipping. So I will also show you the stuff I sold on the other platforms, but we're going to start off with Whatnot. It was a really excellent show today. I was so excited. Maybe it's because I posted a preview on Instagram last night. Maybe it's just because it was a good show for no reason. I don't know. I had some pretty amazing pieces in it. First of all, can we talk about my sweater? How fantastic is this? I got this off of a Depop seller. What was her name? Thrifty Moms 2. And this is by a brand called Charlie Girl. It's so freaking cute. It's such a cute brand. I saw another seller selling this on Etsy for like $163. I paid like $55. So phenomenal price. I am not selling it. I bought it for me because obviously, like, look at this thing. It's amazing. Anyway, love it, love it, love it. Let's talk about my Whatnot show. I sold 39 items today, which is like a ton of items for me, for $667 before fees. After fees, I'm going to make $577.25. So amazing. I don't know if it's my highest show ever, but it's definitely like one of them, if it's not the highest. Like over 600 is pretty fantastic for me. I think this is only the second or third time I've gone over 600. So that's amazing. I don't think I've ever hit a $700 show. So 39 items are going to 19 different buyers, 6 of whom are first-time buyers for me. So I'm very excited about this. So let's get into it because obviously I have a lot of things to wrap up and get to the post office, which closes at 4 if I go to my friend Esther, who I definitely want to go to. So first item is a new to me buyer who purchased one item. They got this Atlanta t-shirt. This is just a really fun single seam stitching. I'm not going to be like, it's not going to be like a haul video. This had some damage on the back, as you can see. I'm not going to show you the items in detail because I have to hustle with my shipping. But I'll give you at least a little peek-see. This sold for $5. I originally had it listed for $15, but then when I noticed that damage on the back, which I didn't notice, it's just like a fade mark where the graphic was, I guess, heat pressed on or something. It's very weird. Anyway, I had it starting at 15 originally, but when I saw that, I dropped it down to 5. So it's been in a couple of shows. It finally sold today. So I'm happy that it's going off to a new home. That's cool. It's black, so it attracted some cat hairs. I'm going to get those off. As you can hear, I replaced my rolly guys. Although this is the thing that didn't fit, so I've got some like tags jammed in there to make it stay. I have my lint rollers from IKEA, and I thought I had replacement bits, and I didn't before. So the thing I had just flies right off. So I had to like rig it up a little bit. It's doing the job okay, you know. All right, there we go. Today was so amazing. I was very excited about it. I had a couple of pieces in the show today that were pretty fantastic that I was excited about, but also it just went very well, even beyond what I expected from that. Okay, second item, new to me buyer purchased one item, this absolutely stunning velvet blazer, which is like probably a 50s era. This is the tag on the inside. Really beautiful. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the auction at. I am not going to tell you what I started the auction at for every single item. If it went higher than what I started the auction at, I will let you know. If it sold for the same as what I started it at, I'll just assume that whatever price I said is what I started the auction at, unless I say otherwise. I could have said that in a much shorter way, huh? So, all right, let's see. Let me get this all folded up nicely. This is such a pretty piece. All right, let's see. My bags are all over the place today. It was such a fun show. So now I'm doing my Whatnot show as regularly scheduled on this coming Thursday, which is December 25th, which, as you probably are aware, is Christmas. This is very squashy in here. I think it's okay. I'm not really sure what to expect from it. And the other thing that's now going to be a little challenging is I want to make sure there's good inventory in there, right? So I sold so much of my stuff today that means like, whatever. I sold a lot of stuff today. So I have a lot of space to fill in. I put 30 new items in each show. I sold 39 items today. So that means that I have to fill up at least 9 from the carryover, but also some of the stuff I've been carrying over each week. I'm feeling like it's getting pretty stale at this point. So I've been kind of looking forward to some of it sort of like falling off and aging out of the show. And this coming week, none of it will be aged out. So I may try to swap some stuff out. I have other stuff that hasn't been on Whatnot in a few months. Maybe I'll try and swap some of those out. But I also am going to need to try and get like a pretty epic, bunch of inventory for Christmas Day. And then I've got New Year's Day after that. And I kind of want both of them to be special, but also, I don't know, we'll see. It's a lot of pressure. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased one item, this little satin camisole top, which sold for $10. So I think that's really adorable. Man, okay, that's not going to fold the way I want it to. And I feel like I'm under the gun time-wise today. So I gotta hustle it. I always do these videos and I feel like I'm very pressed for time. And then frequently I'm like, oh, actually I'm good. This is pretty okay. But I'm worried because I have so many items today to ship. All right, next up, repeat buyer purchased one item. This thing is really cool. This cotton flannel shacket. So it's this cotton flannel and then it's quilted. There's the tag. It's very cool. This also sold for $15. So amazing. Let's see. Yeah, so I feel like I'm going to have to do a little bit more work on my Whatnot show this week to try and fill in the blanks of items that sold, but also make sure that it seems fresh enough that it's not super stale. One of the things I'm considering doing is some sort of, because it's Christmas and then New Year's, I'd like to do some sort of promotionally kind of thing. So I was thinking about trying to do some dollar starts. This one's better. Either stuff that's been sitting around for a while. And then I was thinking of doing dollar starts on Christmas Day. And then I thought, dollar starts would actually be pretty cool for New Year's Day. It's like January 1st, dollar starts, but I also want the Christmas Day show to be kind of enticing. I don't know. It's a lot. I do have a lot of what I call old Whatnot inventory, stuff that's been on Whatnot that I took down eventually because it had been on so many Whatnot shows that I needed to freshen things up. Next buyer purchased 2 items, repeat buyer, and they got this adorable 90s little faux patchwork rayon skirt. This sold for $15. Fold this up. Let's see. So, older Whatnot inventory that I haven't listed elsewhere yet because I take forever to list things elsewhere, apparently. So I can swap out some of that stuff. But then also, there was so much good epic inventory at today's show, and I felt like that was part of why today was so great. You'll see some of it. Oh, so good. So I want to keep repeating that. But obviously, I can't have the same epic inventory all the time. That's just not how the world works, unfortunately. The second item that this buyer purchased was this skirt. I call these hippie skirts. This is like a 90s. It's got these little jingle jangle bell things. This sold for $15. Very cute. So, I gotta see. I also don't know if my thrift store is going to be open. I normally source Wednesdays, and Wednesday is Christmas Eve. And when I asked the cashier when I was cashing out if they were going to be open on Christmas Eve, she literally said maybe, maybe not. I don't think she knew, obviously. And also, a lot of the people at my thrift, their primary language is Spanish. And so I couldn't tell if that was part of the reason, that she didn't kind of elaborate more, but I don't know. I feel like she just didn't know. We didn't have a whole lot of communication the rest of the, but I didn't feel like she was, having a language barrier issue. So I don't know. But anyway, I want to thrift on my normal Wednesday, but I don't know if it will be an option for me. So I'm going to have to figure that out beforehand as well. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased one item. What happened to my brain? Where did it go? Okay, 32. I'm looking at something. I'm like, what am I looking for right now? This is the sweater. So cute. Gray. Look at those little flowers. Adorable. That's the tag. This sold for $15. This was sourced by my friend Whitney. She went to like some church sale and they had a bunch of vintage sweaters and they were like $2 each. So she was literally just sending me photos of them. And I was like, yup, nope, for all of them. And let's see. And then she shipped them to me. She's actually said she's going again to the same sale. We'll see if they might not have anything, but maybe they'll have a bunch of cool old vintage again. We will see. Fortunately, the sale starts after I'm done with my shipping. So that's convenient for me because I was like, oh, if you're doing it today, I guess I can't participate because I got to hustle my booty off. All right, next up is, let's collapse that, is a repeat buyer who purchased one item. And this is a 90s floral baby doll dress. So cute. And it's made by this brand Starina, which a lot of people like. I wasn't super familiar with it. I wasn't familiar with it at all until recently. Somebody was like, ooh, I love Starina. And people were like, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. I feel like I've had one or two pieces by them before, but because obviously I like the pieces. I think they're cute, but I didn't know it was like a thing that people got excited about until recently. So let's see. Get this folded up. This sold for $34. I started the bidding at $15. I was very surprised that it went up that high, but thrilled because yay. Mama likes to pay bills. So that was nice. There were a couple of surprising bids up today, and there were a couple of things that did not get bid up or even sell that I was surprised at, but that always happens. So, all right. I apologize that this is not packaged a little bit better, but under the gun. Okay, next up, it just was folded janky, that's all. Next up, repeat buyer purchased 2 items. First up is this one that I think is so pretty. It was in a super recent haul. I think my most recent haul. I don't remember. I don't know if this is like 40s or 60s. I feel like it's mid-century in there somewhere. There are no tags. It's really like gauzy and pretty. This sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. So that's cool. I think it's such a pretty piece. I wish I was able to give more information than like, seems mid-century, What's it made out of? I don't know. What era is it? Got me. Let's see. I love the print. It was very pretty. I love the feel of the fabric. Again, I've got this all folded very crooked. Okay, sorry. And then the second item that this buyer purchased was this little 90s number. Cute little flower print. It's got these fun, like, mismatched buttons. And this sold for $15 as well. Let's see, get it all folded up. Let me button it. Would be nice. I don't know where Rizzo. I'm looking for Rizzo. I don't want to wake the beast. She's been very chill lately, which is like kind of nice because it allows me to get work done more easily. But also that means she doesn't appear on camera as much for y'all because she's off hiding somewhere. But it's okay. I'm going to stick them in that bag. I finally remembered to order more bags that I need. So yay for me on that one. Did I order? Yes, I think so. I'm trying to remember what size I freaking ordered. Okay. Next up is going to be another repeat buyer for me who purchased one item. Let's see. And that was this dress, the Wengili. This one I was surprised didn't get bid up more. I mean, it got bid up okay. This is the tag, Wengili. These dresses can sell for a whole lot of money. There's obviously like a wide range of styles for them. And in my opinion, this one's a little bit more simple of a style. I had the bidding for this one starting at $20, partly because it's usually like a sought after piece, but partly because I paid $10 for it. So I started the bidding at 20. It got bid up to 32, which is good. Like under normal circumstances, I'd be like, yes, that's fantastic. For Wengili, I was a little surprised because I feel like in the past, I've had them go up much higher. I feel like one went up to like the 70s or 80s. I think I've sold them on Whatnot twice before. I can't remember what the second one did, but I remember being very surprised. But that's okay. I mean, that's also part of what I love about Whatnot for my buyers is when I can give them prices that are like super enticing to be able to come back for, because the whole thing with Whatnot, it's definitely got sort of an addictive gambling nature to it. And part of what keeps you coming back for those addictive gambling nature type of situations is the enticement of the lower priced items, like getting a really awesome thing at a low price, right? So, I like being able to do that. And then I still, again, get sort of surprised when, so this sold for $32, but the Starina sold for $34, the 90s baby doll dress. I will take both of them very happily. Amazing show for me today. Again, I'm not trying to discount any of this. It's just surprising, I'm just like, this is very odd, but I am happy about it. I'm trying to get this dress to, there we go, that's better. So super exciting. There we go. Okay. Next. I have a new to me buyer who purchased one item, and it was just this cute little hat. Little rainbow chevron hat. This sold for $5. I just thought it was cute. It doesn't have any tags. So I think I paid $1.50 for it. I can't remember exactly. It wasn't a lot. So it was an easy list for $5. It was fun. Let's see. Next is a repeat buyer who purchased 2 items. Very cute. First up, this little floral, kind of like baby doll style, kind of a thermally tee. This sold for $15. Very cute. I love these kind of tees. Just, again, like working from home and you're just wearing it. It's like, instead of just a boring old t-shirt, you put something like this on and it's just as comfortable as the boring old t-shirt, but it's cute. And then the second item that this buyer purchased was this 90s floral cropped blouse. I think this is so adorable. I love the boxy cropped fit on this. And I love this print so much. I think it's so pretty. And then look at that tag. Amazing. And then this sold for $15 as well. Yes. Here we go. I'm going to button it up so that it looks a little bit presentable, even though I feel like you don't care. But every now and then, you got to put the effort in. So a little bit presentable. All right, let's see. All righty. And then I got to get them both bagged up together. They kind of look cute together. All right, let's see. Doo-doo-doo. Oh my gosh, okay. Sorry, this is a little... the shirt needed to be folded an additional time, so it's a little wrinkly, but I feel like you'll forgive me. All right, next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 6 items. Let's see. All right, number 1. And I'm double checking all the numbers. Last time I almost sent somebody the wrong item, so I'm making extra sure today, being paranoid. This sweater, cute little cottagecore flower sweater. There's the tag, little embroidered flowers. I love it. This sold for $15. This is another one of the sweaters that my friend Whitney sourced for me. So that was fun. This one I tried to put in a show earlier, but it had some stains that I had to get out. It was a weird stain. It was just like very, just like discolored. Like it almost wasn't noticeable. And then when you noticed it, you're like, oh, wow. But it soaked out, thankfully. Second, oh, this sold for $15, which I think I said. Second item that this buyer purchased was this vintage Vera scarf. This actually was sent to me by another friend. I don't want to say sourced for me because she sourced these items for herself and then didn't want to sell them. So I bought them off of her, my friend Brandy. And this, I started the bidding on this at $5 and it got bid up to $8. This is a Vera Newman scarf. It's very cute. I'm sure you probably are familiar, but if you're not, Vera. So, all right. Third item that this buyer purchased. This one did more like what I expected. So this belt, phenomenal. Love this thing. In my haul video recently, I told you that I've sold one of these in the past on Whatnot, like a similar one on Whatnot, that I couldn't remember how much I had sold it for, but I said it did really well, that I was very happy with it. And I think in the video, I was saying like, oh, I think I sold it for like 30 or 50 or so. The last one I sold for 23, which my memory of it was that it had gone so high. This one I think is nicer than the last one I sold, but look at this thing. I love this. This is leather, made in Morocco. Gorgeous. I started the bidding on this one at $20. Again, same as the Wangili, partially because it's awesome and I know that they sell for a lot, but also because I paid $10 for it. So let's see. How can I fold this up so that it's not, there we go. That's better. Okay, there we go. So this ended up getting bid up to $41. So pretty fantastic. A friend of mine said that she sold one not that long ago on Etsy for $125, which did for like a second make me think, oh, I should pull it. But I already had it in the show and promoted it on Instagram. And plus, I have so much stuff that's waiting to be listed on Etsy. So that was super fun. Another really great piece to be able to like send off. Next item that this buyer purchased is this really adorable 60s cocktail dress with these blue and green sequins. So cute. This sold for $15. Let go, please. Really adorable. In fact, I'm going to stick this belt in the folds of the sweater because it just, the belt's got like metal bits. I don't want it rubbing against any delicate items. So, all right, let's see. How am I going to fold this dress? The sequins are like, not doing it. Okay, there we go. It's we'll get it figured out. It's okay. All right. Third item that this buyer purchased was this skirt, 90s, like maxi length slip style skirt. That's the print. So cute. This sold for $15. Very exciting. And what's that last item? Oh, those are cute. Okay, cool. Let's see. Everything is so much fun. I really do love doing this. I mean, sometimes it's a real pain in my ass, but I love all the vintage clothing. I love all the eras and the styles and stuff. And even when it's not my personal aesthetic, I still get really into it. It's fun. This is the final item this buyer purchased, these 90s color block denim shorts. I think they're so freaking cute. Look at that. And then that's the brand. And these sold for $15 as well. So really adorable. All right, let me make sure that I can have all of this like that maybe. And then I got to get them in a big bag, I think. Make sure nobody's sliding all over. Okay, I can chill. It's 2:15. I'm getting so frantic. Like, oh my God. I mean, I do have to hurry. Like, I can't lollygag more than I already do. When I end my Whatnot show, I always like grab something to eat. But, you know, I have like some issues transitioning from one task to the next. Just so I feel like it takes me a little while. So then I like eat, but then I'm like today, Nikki Terry Vintage was on, so I was able to raid into her show, which was fun. And then I just like hang out and I'm watching her show. So sorry, I'm vacuum packing by laying on top of this to squeeze all the air out, essentially. So you know, then I kind of lollygag, and then I'm like, oh, I better get to shipping because, you know, I got to ship. All right, let's see. Next up, a new to me buyer who purchased one item, and they got this gauzy rayon skirt by Bila. This is like a 90s era. This thing is so freaking cool. So I'm not going to fold this one up yet because this person actually contacted me on Instagram asking if I had other like similar like Indian cotton kind of pieces or whatever. Because they had already paid the Whatnot shipping, they wanted to kind of take advantage in a way. And I didn't have anything else that wasn't listed. Like I have stuff listed on Etsy. So I just kind of sent them a communication. I said, like, look through my Etsy shop, and if there's anything you're interested in, we'll work it out. So I'm going to hold off on that because I want to make sure I check her messages before I do the final shipping. Oh, no. Okay. All right, let's see. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased one item from me. This one was very surprising to me. This is the shirt. Right, little pink, like very stretchy, like, you know, stretchy nylon or polyester or something like that. Beeline. This is new old stock. It was still in its bag when I found it, and I am going to send the bag off along to her. I don't know if she wants it, but I started the bidding at on this, I think at $10. Like it was, I don't even think I did 15. It sold for $26. Like so interesting to me. Like I definitely didn't expect that. I'm definitely super excited about it. I think that's amazing. But I was very surprised. It came in its little bag, so I'm going to put it back in the little bag for her. I don't know if she cares, but I think it's fun. So we're going to do that. Let's see. And then I'll put it in a second bag because I'm a paranoid freakazoo. And I want to make sure it's protected from falling into the swamp. All right, there we go. So crazy. I was really surprised at that. I almost didn't even want to put it in the show because, you know, it's a solid color shirt. Like to me, I want everything to look like this, you know? All right, let's see. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased two items. The first is this lace dress. This is so freaking cute. And, you know, like a midi length. This sold for $23. I started the bidding at $15 for this one. And one sec, let's see. Oh no, I'm making such a mess of stuff over here. Sorry, I just realized too that you guys have the microphone on. And I don't know if you're hearing all sorts of ridiculousness as I'm shuffling things around over here. So I don't know. Sorry, it's just a weird thread I'm trying to snip. There we go. Do not want any cats swallowing this thread. All right, so let's get this folded up. Like I said, this sold for $23. I started the bidding at $15. This was really cute. Such a fun dress. It's got very Victorian vibes, you know? Okay, fold it, forward it. And then the second item that this person purchased actually is also very similar vibes, but also another new old stock item. This shirt, it's like a ruffly high neck blouse. This was Sears. And I think it's so freaking cute. This sold for $10, which is what I started the bidding at. So yeah, I do think that that pink one was started at 10 as well. And I also still kept the bag from this one. So I'm going to try and fold this up neatly. This had like a cardboard insert, but I'm not. I put the cardboard insert in the trash, so I'm not doing that. But they will get the bag because it's fun. And I'm buttoning everything. And I feel like buttoning it takes an absolute lifetime. Okay. Fold you all up nice and neat. Fold it. There we go. Fold. It's like trying to fold a map, getting the folds exactly. I used to work in a men's clothing shop when I was in college. And if you're not familiar, men's shirts always come like this, you know, in the package. And I don't remember what the circumstances were, like why things would be taken out of the package and then have to be put back in. But the amount of men's dress shirts that I had to refold and repackage was just ludicrous. So, you know, and trying to like get the fold lines to match up to what you want them to do. It's insane. All right, come on, please. The fashion, please. There we go. Boop, boop. Get you there with that. And then stick it in here. Alrighty, let's see. Perfect. Yay. Sorry. I forgot again that I'm supposed to be talking to people while I do this. So here we go. All right, next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 2 items from me. The first is this hot pink Hawaiian dress. I love this. The fluttery sleeves. I was going to say frilly, and I knew that was not correct. There's the tag. So cool. This sold for $18. I started the bidding at $15. See, another one. This, I wasn't sure actually if I expected it to get bid up because I get really excited finding these still, but I'm not sure that they're as trendy as they once were, partially because I just don't see them as much anymore. So I was super excited to find it, but I was like, am I like, and even if it's not trendy, like that's not, you know, I still think this is just cool. I would have picked it up anyway. But for a while, they were really trendy in the vintage community. So there's that one. All right, there we go. And then the second item that this buyer purchased is another Hawaiian style dress. This Tori Richard, very cute. I like the sleeves are a little bit puffed out. It's a great print. And there's the tag on that. Very cool. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. So very fun. Let's see. All right, get this folded up. Come on, please. All righty, there we go. Here we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I feel like I'm using a lot of my medium-sized bags today. I had run out of them, and I thought I had run out of them. And I went to look for my regular size, my smaller bags. That I thought I had a large backlog of, and I didn't, but I did have another package of these. So thankfully I finally went and ordered both sizes. So now I have those coming in, which I'm sure you're relieved to hear. You're like, thank God, Laura, because that was keeping me up at night worrying about whether or not you had enough poly mailers in your inventory. Okay. This next package, I also have to package a little bit differently. So this buyer is a repeat buyer who purchased 2 items. So the first item is this adorable little box purse. So cute. Like little decoupage situation. This sold for $20. I purchased this. I paid $10 for this when I bought it. I listed it at $20. Like in a perfect world, I would have listed it a little higher, but I felt like that would have been too high for Whatnot. So that sold for $20. It's so freaking cute. The second item that this buyer purchased is this cotton like 40s era dress. So this is the one that I was showing in a haul video where I was saying, I don't know, I feel like it's like 70s, but it's got a very 40s vibe to it. Well, one of you lovely folks, I know Betsy, but like, because she has a YouTube channel, the person who told me, she found one of these in an estate that she purchased full of like early vintage. Her videos on that are phenomenal. I'll find her channel and link it because it's fantastic. And then apparently she's going to be like getting some more inventory from this same household. It was so epic the first time. All I can remember is Betsy. I'm going to link her in the show, in the description, because it's so good. Anyway, so she told me that she had gotten exactly this dress in like a blue color. She's like, no, that's definitely 40s. And she sent me the photo and everything. Really cool. I love that. So thank you for that again. And this sold for $30. I started the bidding at $15, but it sold for $30. And this is another one I have to kind of hold these off to the side to make sure that I wrap that purse properly too. So we're going to put this in a little poly mailer. What is wrong with me? Why can I not fold anything today? So cute. Okay. Here, I'm going to put those off to the side. Let's see. Off to the side where? All right, I guess over here. Okay. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 7 items from me. Let's expand it, please. All right, so first up, so much fun stuff in this one. First, we have this 70s Kelly green dress. Look at that. And then this is like a headscarf or a neck scarf or whatever kind of scarf you want it to be. So freaking cute. This sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. It's phenomenal. I love it. Such a fun piece. Get this folded up. I got this from that like... it wasn't really an estate sale. It was like a vintage sellers liquidation thing that I went to somewhat recently. That was really fun. And they had some cute pieces. Let's see, get this folded up. All right, so that's number 1. Second item that they purchased was similar aesthetic, this like very Brady Bunch looking situation that I love. This sold for $26. I started the bidding at $15 on this one. So that was another one that I was a little surprised at how high the bidding went. Happily surprised, of course. So all right, let's see. Get this all folded up. Polyester Dream Team over here. Okay, 2. I'm getting hot from my sweater again right now. The third item that they purchased, this piece. This is so freaking cute. The most neon of neons. Got these little covered buttons and this fun little print there. So this, I started the bidding at $5 on this one because it had these little, like the tiniest little pinholes. I thought they were pulls. And then when I got it home, I realized like when I saw it in the thrift store, it's like, oh, it's got some pulls on it. But I'll try and like, work some of them out a little bit and whatever, if they don't come out at the end of the day, like, okay. But then I got it home and I realized that a lot of the pulls were actually these teeny tiny pinholes. So then I just decided to start the bidding at $5 because I still think it's the cutest thing. And it got bid up to $15 anyway. So that worked out. That was nice. I think it's such a cool piece. The color is phenomenal. All right, next up, 16 is this little 80s, another one of these test dresses. These are so cute. Oh, there's that. The color on this is phenomenal. It's got its matching belt, which I love. And this sold for $15. That's what we started the bidding at. And let me see if I can, all these belts in this order. The belts are, it's cool that they have them, but they're stiff and difficult to fold. So, I mean, it's not the worst. It just doesn't really let me fold it the way that I like to fold it to make it look pretty. All right, come here, please. There we go. It's terrible. Looks terrible, but we will hide it among other things. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. And then the next item that this buyer purchased is this, oopsie, sorry, this purple cardigan, also sourced by my friend Whitney. It's an Angora blend. It's so soft and pretty, and this sold for $15. That straightened out there. It's so soft. I want pajamas made out of this sweater. All right, there we go. And then, oh, this one's so good. Oh, this is a 70s jumpsuit. And I knew I loved it when I saw it. It's got this like rainbow trim and this whole like situation. And then, you know, amazing. No tags. I started the bidding on this at 15, and I totally expected, not expected, I expected / hoped that it would get bid up because I think it's epic. And I think that everybody loves jumpsuits. Everybody loves rainbow. And so I was kind of like surprised when there was no pre-bids on it. I featured this in my Instagram little preview that I did, which I never do. It didn't have pre-bids. I was like, okay. And so part of me was like, well, you know what? Like if it just doesn't get bid on, maybe it wants to stay with me. And so then once we got to it in the show, still didn't have any pre-bids. Like I don't even think anybody requested it. I think I just like organically got up to this number, which again, I was surprised, but you know, and but then it sold, obviously. So, and it got bid up to $19. So a little bit of bidding action, which was good. But again, I don't need any more jumpsuits. But this one's all like stretchy and nice, and it's just so cool. All right. And then the final item that this buyer purchased was this purple lavender maxi dress. Like a prom style type of situation, right? And this sold for $15. So very cool. And let's see, it's very long. I was saying that it hits me at the tops of my feet, and I'm 5'11", so I feel like it's going to be long. But also, I don't wear heels. Like for somebody who wears heels, maybe it's that cool, like kind of slightly longer, even when you have your heels on type of situation. All right, now we got to get these in a bag. Let's see. What's the big ones? Yes. See if we can get these in a bag neatly. All right, here's these three. See if I can do those. All right, I feel like we're gonna get these in one bag. It's gonna be a little bit of a squash fest, but I also think that like you don't care. But you don't care, you know what I mean. Oh, you know, it might be too much of a squash fest. I'm just gonna do 2 separate bags. I'm not gonna fight with this thing today. Then I have to put this off to the side also so that I don't forget that the 2 bags go together. I'm telling you. Yeah, that would have been, this is the one bag. I mean, this bag has more room in it, but that would have been terrible. Put you 2 together. There we go. And then the final package that I have to do is a new to me buyer who purchased 4 items. So first up is this little Banana Republic skater skirt. So cute. Vintage banana. Love it. And this sold for $15. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in the haul video where I picked this up, I also got 2 other skater style skirts that are a little bit smaller than this one. They're a different brand. And I didn't want to have too many of the same kind of thing in the show, so I didn't put those in the show. But then this buyer also purchased another skater skirt that I have in the show. I love these, right? And that's the print. This one's obviously new old stock. And both the banana and this sold for $15 each. I couldn't remember if I told you what the Banana Republic sold for. So now I feel like I can put the other skater skirts, tongue twister there, into a show for next week. So that's nice. Right. You fold it up, you fold it up. Then this buyer also purchased this sweater, which I think is so freaking cute. The little flower embroidery and these guys down here, dingle dongles. And this sold for $15. Excelente. I'm doing so well on time. I'm so proud. So proud and relieved. I also have 2 non-whatnot things to ship out today. So I'm still not feeling like relaxed, just like I probably am going to make it. This is going to go so cute together. I don't know if that's the intention, but it'll go cute together. And then the final item this buyer purchased was this gauzy, like rainbow plaid blouse. So cute. It's a little bit like nipped in at the waist. This also sold for $15. So that's all pretty phenomenal. So I'm very excited. It was such a nice show. I was so relieved about how that went. I was very happy about it. And of course, now I'm already worried about populating next week's show, but we'll get on it. I prepared a lot more in advance, which was like a mixed blessing, right? Because that means that I spent a lot of the day on Tuesday putting in drafts and everything for my Thursday show. And then Wednesday I went out sourcing and then came home and finished up and took the photos and all that. So normally in the past, like Wednesday, I would like kill myself. And then Thursday I kill myself again, all for the Whatnot show. But the rest of the week was, whatever. I had 5 other days to do other work. This way, I'm not killing myself, but also now I take 3 days on Whatnot. So it was nice to like sleep, like not be like insane. But it's just like, I don't like the idea of spending 3 days on one Whatnot show. And I know it's not really 3 days because the sourcing day, the sourcing happens for other things, right? So the sourcing day is like sourcing and a YouTube video and then Whatnot prep. So maybe I'm being a little hard on myself about it. Maybe I could do like sourcing day, YouTube video, that all happens in the same day, and then just like do other listing and have all my Whatnot prep if I'm able to, right? Because sometimes, a lot of the time, the stuff that I source has to go into the Whatnot show. So sometimes it has to all be on the same day. But, anyway, I'm working towards it. But again, I built up like a nice backlog of stuff so I could prepare in advance. And then I had a massive sale and sold 39 items. And now I got to not scramble, but it's going to be a little bit more work to prepare in advance for this upcoming show. So anyway, that's everything I sold in my Whatnot show. I'm going to go print shipping labels, but you're going to hang tight because you're going to see what I sold everywhere else. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so let's see what I sold on the other platforms. It's better than last week. It's not as good as Black Friday week, which was a pretty good week, but it is better than like the week before that and probably even the week prior to that. Like I've had a not great run on non-Whatnot platforms, and we've improved a little bit, at least as far as the number of items sold. I sold a total of 7 items this week, and 4 of them were Etsy and the other 3 were Poshmark. eBay and Depop were just like, nah, sorry, we're going to sit this week out. So what do you get? I mean, Depop, I expect that, right? eBay's been ridiculously slow for me, at least lately. So we'll see how it goes. It's probably time for me to get that last lot of vintage nylons posted. That'll get me some eBay action for sure. All right, but let's see what I did sell this week. Starting off with our friend Etsy, who graciously showed up. Why is my little square here being so weird today? Okay, so first up on Etsy, I have this little vintage teddy, red Nan flower teddy. This was a new old stock piece. Take a look at some tags here. So there's all those guys. This is really cute. I have a couple other Nan flower pieces I think that I still need to get posted. Um, this I had listed at $59. The buyer sent me an offer on Etsy, which is something that I'm opted into. I don't get a ton of Etsy offers, but I do get them occasionally. Buyer sent me an offer of 45, very acceptable and reasonable. I accepted it, obviously. I pay shipping on Etsy, so this shipping was $5.16. So I made $39.84. And again, all of these, like I made prices, are just the sold price minus any shipping fees. It doesn't count like platform fees, payment processing, cost of goods, any of that stuff. Okay. Next up on Etsy was this really pretty vintage dress, like a 70s era sheer, like flower print. Here's a close up of the fabric. I thought was so pretty. I love this. And I had this listed, as you can see, at $79. Let's see. The buyer got a coupon for 20% off, which they used. So the sold price was $63.20. The buyer was in Canada, so buyer paid shipping. So I made $63.20 on this very pretty dress. I love these kind of things. Next up on Etsy, hey, it's our old friend, these fucking hair clips. This buyer actually purchased 2 pairs of these, which makes it hurt a little bit less because I do free shipping. It's $10 per pair of hair clips for this. And so shipping was $5.15, which is like pretty normal. You know, that's usually in the $5 range at this point. So on a $10 item, $5 like it just feels like, what am I doing this for? But it hurt a little bit less when it was 2 because $20 shipping was $5.15. So I made $14.85 before all the Etsy fees, cost of goods, etc. Cost of goods was so negligible on these, and I got them years ago, and I've had 8 million, as you know, because I keep showing you this same listing every couple of weeks. I don't have that many more of these particular hair clips remaining. So let's see. All right, next up, also Etsy. This was a really pretty top that I had. Let's see, this, as you can see, I had listed for $79. This is a confusing photo because it was just a shirt, but I happened to have a skirt that also had this like glittery thing. So that's why in this first photo you see, I just like, you know, whatever, some belly there, because it's not a dress, right? But the shirt was really cool. It was very like glitter encrusted. It's hard to get like a good view of what it was like. I hope that the buyer is super happy with it. This is just showing, you know, sort of more construction-y elements, a better idea of what's going on. I had it listed for $79. The buyer did not use any kind of coupon or anything. Shipping was $5.86. So I made $73.14 on this. So yay, that was nice. Next, we're going to move to Poshmark. The first item I'm going to show you actually sold last week, and I forgot to include it in the thing. So here it is. It was a vintage Christmas glass. I had this listed for $14. The buyer sent me an offer of 10. Now, I list it for 14, and that on a lot of other sites would include shipping. So normally, like on Etsy, if they ended up getting like a favorite coupon or something like that, I would have to suck it up and send it. But normally I don't accept offers on this kind of stuff when it's free shipping because it's just like $14 with free shipping. I'm not really making any money. But because Poshmark, the buyer is paying for shipping, I will negotiate a little bit. I get offers for glasses sometimes on Depop, and I don't accept those offers because it's just I'm not making any money, you know. So anyway, I accepted the offer of $10 on this. This glass came from that whole hoarder house glassware haul that I did a million years ago, that I'm never done with. So I made, after like Poshmark fees, it's like $7 on this. So, you know, why did I do that to myself with all those glasses? I still don't understand it myself, but it's fun to sell. I mean, they're cute, and I'm glad somebody's going to enjoy it. So there's that. That was last week's though. This week on Poshmark, I sold 3 items. First up is this velour V-neck menswear shirt. This thing is really cool. I love it. I had it listed at $59. And the buyer, I forget what their first offer to me was. It was pretty, I feel like it was like $20 or $25. It was really low. And now personally, because I feel like this offers are a very personal thing that differ from seller to seller. If someone sends me an offer that is more than 50% off of my asking price, I feel insulted. And I understand it's not an insult because it's not personal for them either. It's just like whatever, right? But like I have to get over that like initial gut reaction that I have of like, ugh, give me a break, you know. So I countered it. I think I was countering with like $45, about 25% off. And again, my very comfortable counter zone, my offer percentage off zone is typically like 20 to 25% off is like kind of a standard, depending on other factors, whether there's free shipping, etc. When I'm giving a really good discount, it's like 30 or 40% off, right? So that's just sort of my way of thinking. So anyway, they sent me this, whatever their first offer was, which was incredibly low. I probably went back with like 45. They came back like instead of 20, they offered 22 or something like that, right? And I just declined it because if I make an offer and then the buyer comes back like barely above, then I'm just like, I'm not going to do this game, you know? Because I don't feel like they are going to come up to where I'm comfortable, essentially is what it comes down to. So anyway, the buyer ended up sending offers a couple more times. And ultimately I settled on 35 and I had to like talk myself through it because I thought to myself, okay, if I was selling this on Etsy and the person used a 20% off coupon and then I was doing free shipping, like what would I actually be, you know, what would the amount ultimately be? So I think 35 is kind of where I felt okay. And then the person kept trying to negotiate and I think they came to like $32 or something. And I declined it because again, now I'm just mad, right? Like, you know, so anyway, they ultimately like offered me 35 again to meet my offer. I accepted it. Buyer pays shipping. So I made $35, which after Poshmark fees is $28. So there's that, you know. I don't remember what the cost of goods was on this, but I really love these shirts. I think they're very cool. So there's that. It's one of the things that's so hard for me with Poshmark is because their fee is so high, but I also always have to counter that with the fact that like I would be paying shipping on Etsy. You know, it's always like I really have to work on making that chart for myself of like each of the different platforms because I do free shipping on Etsy and Depop, but I do a lot of offers on eBay. Poshmark is very offer heavy, but all, you know, so like Poshmark just has the highest fees. It hurts. Okay, so that was that one. The next Poshmark item was this pair of panties. Yes, these are panties. I know you're like, that looks like a rubber band. I know it does. These are Victoria's Secret crotchless panties. So this is the waistband here. And I've had these for quite a while and I really kind of thought they would sell faster, but also they're not necessarily like the really coveted kind of Y2K Victoria's Secret panty. I bought these when I found a whole bunch of other similar kind of panties. So I had these sitting at $39. I can't remember if I had them listed higher at a certain point. There were some of them that I had listed higher that I ultimately brought down after a very long time. But I had these listed for $39. The buyer sent me an offer of $22. I think I just accepted it because I've had them for a while. And they didn't sell the way I expected them to. They are the, you know, pink Y2K era. Where's their little year? Here, January of 2005. So sold for $22. After Poshmark fees, I would make $17.60. I probably paid like $3 or $4 for these. So, all right. And then the final item that I sold this week was also on Poshmark and also more panties. Also Victoria's Secret panties that I've had sitting around for a very long time, probably the same lot as the pink ones I just showed you. This is the back of the panty, and which is obviously the more decorative part. And then the front is like a very second skin satin style. And these I also had listed at $39. The buyer just paid full price. Buyer pays shipping. So I made $39 or $31.20 after fees. So that's everything that I sold. I mean, I feel like it was a pretty nice week. I'm excited that those 2 pairs of panties are going because they had to go. And yeah, overall it was pretty good. I don't know what happened with eBay and Depop, but we're going to try and work on them and get a few more sales out of them. So, and as far as Poshmark, I finally figured out my Vendu automated sharing feature. Like I've kind of got a system worked out. I think it's still probably glitchy, but I've figured out like the secret sauce. for me at least. So I feel like that's been helping my Poshmark sales. And again, my Poshmark sales are not like through the roof, but neither are any of my sales right now. So some coffee, some afternoon coffee. It's always good. It's 3:30 right now as I'm recording this. Anyway, kudos to me though, because I'm recording this on Friday. I've been very late with all of these videos. Anyway, that's everything. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video and you could give me a thumbs up, I would love that so much. I love when you guys comment. If you haven't already subscribed and you found any of this useful, valuable, entertaining, something to sit there and make fun of when you have nothing else to do, I would love if you would subscribe. And I will see you all soon. Thanks so much. Bye.